Okay, couple of things. So after I patted my daughter on the head and I told her I was entertained by the movie and I ushered her quickly out of the movie theater, I grabbed my son and I was like, oh my God, what a goddamn waste of time that was. And he was like, I know, right? And then he, she was like, oh, this sucked. And I'm like, I know. Shut up, though. Your sister might hear us. And we ran off to the bathroom. It's performed well.
Wait till we are in the cone of silence and then we may speak.
Yeah. It is performed well. It is the singing, the numbers in Exclusion are performed well. As I said before, Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga have some interesting chemistry. I think they do well. I'd like to see them in something else, something that's better written than this garbage. This movie, the screenplay, the writing, the story is absolutely terrible. Here's why.
Here's Why You're Wrong by Mark Radulich.
The fact that we haven't renamed this entire network to that just astonishes me.
Here's Why You're Wrong. Yeah, it's the name of my autobiography. The character, what Todd Phillips basically is doing with Joker was he didn't like the fact that the audience sort of saw Joker and his sort of descent into madness and being an icon for the disaffected. He didn't like that, and so this was his way of taking that character back. And the character basically saying to the audience, "You're all wrong about this. I stink. I'm terrible. I'm not something to aspire to." So they went about stripping everything that made Joker Joker in this movie to the point where they literally say to have the Joker say on screen, "I don't want to be this anymore." It's fine in a different movie. It's not. It wasn't good in this one because it ultimately undoes everything that was done in the first movie, and there isn't enough going on in this movie to justify stripping the character down the way that they did.
Star Wars: The Last Joker.
Kinda. If you're going to go in that, if you're going to have him look in the mirror and go, "I didn't want to be any of this. I was mad about my mom. I was mad about Thomas Wayne. I was mad about being hit in the head with a sign, but I didn't intend for any of this, and I don't like myself." That isn't the story you told. It's not the story you told. That's not what happened in this movie. And so having him in the courtroom just throw his hands up and give up and say, "Find me guilty. I'm terrible." You didn't earn that ending. You can do that if you want, but you have to take us there, and that's why the writing is bad. 101 here. In order to get to the ending that you want, you have to write that story. That story isn't what's written here. They do a little bit of Lady Gaga, saying, and it's the only interesting part of the movie, and they say, be the Joker, be this inspiration, be the voice of the voiceless. And he goes, "No, I don't want to. You're having a baby. Now I want to be a dad, and I want to get out of prison, and I want to be normal." And she was like, "Well, I don't want any of that with you, so goodbye now." And again,
vanishes from the film.
And if they got you there a little bit better, that might have been more acceptable. And honestly, it was the only part of the movie where I was kind of with the characters. Like, her wanting to leave him because he won't be the thing she wants him to be is the only thing that makes sense in this movie for me. Beyond that, I'm going to read this. I'm going to use the rest of my time to kind of throw this out there. I want to get your reactions to it. Very quick reactions. Critics noted that the film is a work of metafiction that is designed to intentionally antagonize audiences who were fans of the first film. I'm reading this from the Themes and Analysis of the Wiki. Rather than capitulating to the expectations of the predecessor's fan base, the film serves to rebuke those who idolize the character of the Joker after the original movie. As a deliberate anti-audience effort, the film pushes against the notion of fan service instead of creating a self-aware narrative that is a commentary on its own existence. The film features off-key musical sequences that contrast with fan expectations following the original film. During one such scene, Joker acknowledges, "I don't think we're giving the people what they want." Gaga's portrayal of Lee Quinzel can be viewed as a stand-in for audiences who were fans of the first film, with a comment about becoming obsessed with Arthur after having seen a TV movie based on his life, reflecting the audience. The finale, where Arthur's crimes are trialed and he is made to seem sad and pathetic, represents an effort by Phillips to subvert and undermine audiences who saw Arthur as a heroic in the first film. and the trial reiterates the events of the first film in a way that is intended to be dissatisfying and alienating to the audiences. And here's what I want to say that I'll give you guys just a minute to react to. I'm not against Todd Phillips being frustrated with his audience. Sing it, brother, I've been there. Here's 10 years of podcasting. That's what you're focused on? Ugh. God.
Hey, as the guy who pretty much weekly gets reamed out for why don't you like pro wrestling more?
Yeah.
I feel the pain.
Right. I'm not mad at Todd Phillips that he's mad at the audiences for being idiots. I am mad that for the same reason I was mad at what's her face Wachowski for what she did with
Mia, I think.
Mia Wachowski for what she did with The Matrix
Resurrection.
No, that's
Resurrection.
no, that's not.
Was that Mia or was that the other one?
Lana.
Yeah,
right.
You're Mia Wachowski is the actress from the Tim Burton Alice in
Lana
Wonderland.
Wachowski. We talked about this offline before the show started tonight, and I said I was going to talk about it here. If you go back to our Matrix 4 review, we said at the time, if you want to use film to work through your trauma, no one's stopping you. If you go to a studio and say, "Give me $10 million, I have this idea. It's based on things that I've experienced. I kind of want to work through some stuff, but I have this idea for a really great movie." Okay, here's $10 million. Go make your art piece, your therapeutic piece. Fine,
A24 does this pretty regularly.
Right. However, if I give you $200 million and I say, "Dorian, make me a blockbuster," and you give me a $200 million screed on child abuse that is not entertaining, but certainly your thing that you had to work through, I'm suing. Okay? That was
For breach of contract.
That's not the assignment. I said this at the top of the show, or right before the show started.
I told you make me a blockbuster, not my depressing life in 2 hours.
I told you make me something I could sell and bring and make a profit on, not whatever this nonsense you brought back to me.
You gave me a copy of your junior high emo poetry.
Yeah. He was hired to do a sequel to The Joker that would make more than $1 billion. I understand the film world is different now, but let's assume COVID and et al. Had not happened. We're living in the world that Warner Brothers expected him to do a sequel that would do better than the original based on how well the original was received. And Todd Phillips went, "Wah, I don't want to do that. I'm mad now." And did this instead. This is a dereliction of duty. That's what I hate about this movie, is that you want to sit there and, kick the audience on the balls. I'm with you. You want to waste Warner Brothers' time and money? No. As a business person, I don't agree with this, and I don't think anybody who has a lot of money to spend on film should ever let this man make a film for them ever again. To the odd house with you, Todd Phillips, never to be seen again. Mick, I kind of threw a lot out there. Did you want to comment on anything?
So, thoughts.
Thoughts. I have them.
No. So if that's what he was going for, then he definitely executed that, because I think that was all of our gripes were just those, like, he's not the Joker anymore kind of thing. And if that was like his point, but I also feel like picking up a project like this just to do that is kind of shitty.
Yeah, it's not kind of shitty. It's way shitty.
It's very shitty.
I paid you to do a thing. You ran in the opposite direction and burnt down my house. Like,
right.
You're doing this as you ran backwards.
Yeah.
Look, let's put this in very simple terms. If you're hired to stock the shelves at Walmart, and instead you knock over the aisles and scrawl a smiley face on the floor and say, "Have a nice day," like, what are we? That's kind of what's going on here.
This is my thoughts on Walmart. No one asked you for this. No, not a single person.
He's like,
like a better comparison, like I paint, and so if I did a portrait of somebody and then I just totally scribbled out their face and then wrote, "I hate you."
What's he writes in the book in the movie? "I hope you get cancer."
Yeah.
Okay, that scene was funny.
That was so good. But yeah, no, it's not. That's not a good way to do that.
No. It's not. By the way, your portrait thing, I just like, and so I would like you paint. We would like you to paint a portrait, and you're doing it like voila, it's like a fucking mustache, and like, I didn't ask for this.
I didn't ask for a caricature.
I know, but this is what I think of you. Fuck, nobody asked you for this.
It would be a different. Or you're over here. It'd be a difference between a character because you're expecting something that's a little out of proportion instead of asking me to do like an accurate painting of you, and I'd be like, well, I hate you. So, all
right, anybody have any burning desires on what I said? If not, I'm going to throw it to Robert.
I do, real quick.
Go ahead, Coffee McGee.
Is again very much like what Michaela and you were just saying, but I want to take it a little further.
Yeah,
is if I'm telling the Robert Winfrey story, I cannot go then into comic books and go, well, I'm actually going to tell his story as if he was Green Lantern. That's not going to make any sense,
Yeah.
But I'd love to see the universe where that exists.
Right.
Save this Green Lantern. Save yourself. Go fuck off.
All right.
Why do you think that would be my response?
It's just like, when the world's going to hell, we just cut to like the shot we always have of him where he's in his like blue back chair with the wood handles. He's just flicking through TV and he just kind of flips them off with like the Green Lantern ring on the middle finger. But no, the whole point of saying that, and sorry, Robert, I picked you because
no, you're good.
Next to me.
Hang on. This is the same guy who keeps quoting Watchmen about, and we will turn to you and you say, save us, and you will look back and say no, and you say it with such glee. That's why, Robert. That's why.
All the whores and politicians will look up and shout, save us. And I'll whisper, nah. I don't feel like it today. But anyways, no, it's when you're taking a character that has, again, almost give or take with about a decade off, 100 years of stuff, there are things that you need to dance within, and if you do not want to dance within those, then make an original character. And that is the issue with this is, again, so many directors, you saw it like again with Ant-Man, it went through all that shit. With Solo, it's like, if you don't want to do something, you have creative differences, fine, go, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have the
this is why Blade keeps losing directors. Clearly, there's
among other reasons.
Clearly, there's a conflict between what the studio wants and what these directors want. The professional thing was for Todd Phillips to go, this one got away from me. I don't like how I feel. I went out to my car and sobbed. Wait, that was two of us. Whatever this would, he needed to tell Warner Brothers no. This was not an opportunity to take revenge on the culture at large.
Well, again, I will exactly, and I will wrap up my points on yours so we can toss it to Robert. There is never a fun situation when you're writing a character that has to turn evil, and we're going to go back before they were. Say what you will about the Star Wars prequels, there is some heartbreak there, especially in Revenge of the Sith, where we're watching Anakin, and we know, if you're a Star Wars fan, you've seen the original ones, we are tiptoeing towards that cliff, and we know we can't stop him. We know we can't, but there's heartbreak to it.
Yeah.
Of he's going to become Vader. Now, again, we know he's going to redeem himself, but we know he has to go off that cliff first. With a character like the Joker, I remember when they were making the first Joker in 2000. Well, I mean, I think they were talking about 2018. Todd Phillips said, this is not supposed to be the Joker that will eventually face Bruce Wayne. And I went, okay. I can, it's interesting if it kind of becomes like the Dread Pirate Roberts. There was always a Joker, and finally there was one that was just dark enough. That's the one that held on to the mantle, and he's the one that the young Bruce Wayne, who's now growing up at this point, on Joker Folie, even though we don't see him. Although I thought that would have been cool if we had, but whatever. This, he's about 10 years away from when he's going to 10, 15 years away from when he's going to start being Batman. So I have no problem with Arthur not being a part of it anymore. But I don't like when, again, if you're going to shit on the character, get out. Right. I don't like the character of the Joker. If every Batman movie from now on that has the Joker in it, he gets brutally murdered in the first 5 minutes, I will get on this podcast and I will hold it up as the best Batman film ever made. Like, they blew Joker's head off. I actually don't remember what happened after that, but it was glorious.
Well, only better than The Dark Knight, but I see what you're saying.
But yeah, so again, it's respect the character and show us this deep dive into madness.
Yeah.
With how they ended the first one of him being the voice of the disfranchised, you knew what you were doing, Todd. You're not an idiot. You're a good filmmaker. You're a great director. You knew what you were going to do. People get so angry, and we have to hold that anger inside because we know if we take that step out of it, we cross that line, as it's said so many times in Batman comics. We go down to that darkness, we don't come back. But it is nice in movies where we are able to see, like movies like Death Wish from the 70s, with Charles Bronson going around just killing, street crooks. We want that because we'd love to just pick up that gun and just go kill everyone who's hurting someone, but we know we can't. So the movies give us that. And that's what Joker gave us in the first one, is it allowed us to kind of go down that rabbit hole of madness and look at how it was destroying lives and how people were coming together and having this evil that's within all of us being sprung to life and poured water on, so it grew into this twisted Tim Burton tree that Tim Burton would go and jerk off on because it's so twisty. So again, if he didn't want to do it, he shouldn't have. But he did do it, and you still have to respect this character and show us the darkness that's going to follow that will end up destroying Gotham and so many characters' lives that we know throughout the comic books and such.